So with this rotating, we got just the front here, but we can also do a full turn. All right. So we can turn all the way to the side. All right. So that takes us 90 degrees. And then we can go full 180 all the way to the other side. All right. So this allows for a large range of movement without actually having to go anywhere. All right. So when we go to the side here, we want to be able to sit into the heel. All right, so we're going to put 100% of our weight straight down to the heel. And we call this sitting. All right, so you should be able to lift the front leg without disturbing your balance. All right, so you can say it's a 90-10 because 10% of the weight on the ground is actually just going to be your leg sitting there. All right, so when we move, it's called thrusting step. All right. So I'm not going to use the Chinese words because I just forget them. So it's just easier to be clear with English here. All right. So I like to consider it's like, because I'm sitting, I look at this as like, my leg is like a bar stool. So the bar stool falls. Then I have to pull that bar stool back underneath me, sit back down, and now I can move my leg without disturbing my balance. All right. And thrusting horse means that I'm pushing through the ground through my heel. So when I go forward, I'm pushing. All right. And then I can do my leg check. It's always good to do a leg check just because as you're starting, you want to make sure that you are transferring your balance properly. All right. So if we go to the other side, again, you can do your leg check, thrust through, sit back down, do your check again. All right. So this is, I like to call it rear wheel drive. All right. So when we do this, whereas you might have before, you're stepping. So you're more like falling forward and there's not as much power there. All right. So if I just put my hand here and I just fall forward with a step, there's just that. But if I sit back down and then I push through my step, there's more to it. All right. So you're just adding more power to your strikes. With all the other stuff that I taught you with the upper body. So again, we're rotating, turn that 90 degree, you sit, do your leg check, push through the ground, and whatever you do with your front foot as far as distance moved, you move the same with your back. All right, sit back down, do your leg check. You can turn around. And another thing about this, in Wing Chun, we want both of our hands in similar distance. We're not like this, we're more like this. So it gives us more freedom and more opportunities with both hands. All right. So try to keep your hips forward, both pointing. So it's good to use, we call these the guns. All right. So when you push, keep those forward, pointing forward. And just, if you have a little bit more distance, of course, this isn't that wide, so we can't go that far. Just as far as practicing, you just keep going. Sit, do your leg checks whenever you feel you need to. Keep pushing through. Right, when you get to the end here, you do your full 180, do your leg check, and keep going forward. Right? Do as many times as you want till you tire yourself out. A good thing to think about here, most of the time when we're not fully aware of the body, we're mainly using our quads, but you want to engage your glutes, all right? Your glutes are very important in walking, running, standing, but we don't actually use them as much, and most people's glutes have turned off due to sitting too much, all right? So it's called sitting tensions. So the more you sit, the more your glutes turn off, the more you stand, the more your glutes turn on. So when your glutes are turned on and your quads are turned on, you're holding it like this instead of just holding up your body like this. All right. So it's good to get used, getting a practice of pushing, engaging the glutes. And again, it's knee power. So knee pushes into the heel, pushes into the ground, and you move forward. All right. Now we're going to look at some stepping with punching, just to, get put in both together to just get a part of your body. So as mentioned, with the thrusting horse, we are pushing down through the ground to move forward rear wheel drive. So when we strike, we put more power into our strike just through pushing with the legs. All the other stuff that we've already learned of elbow power, shoulder, hip, it all becomes part of it, and you're increasing your strike power even more without even putting much effort into it. All right. So with this first one step, one punch, you just one. All right. So the leg naturally follows up. Two, follow up. All right. Turn. One step, one punch. One step, one punch. All right. Very simple. Again, you just do the 180, one step, one punch. All right. One step, one punch, one step, one punch. And again, we're focusing on that elbow power. So as above, so below, like I mentioned. So knee is pushing down into the heel. Hip is a part of it, of course. So the hip is moving forward as you extend your arm with the elbow. And all right, that negative side can be there as well. If it's a little too much going on, just simplify it a bit more. You know, just push arm out, push arm out, rotate. And again, add what you want into it when you can take it, or when you can handle that extra information in your body. Right now, you're just learning. If you're not just learning, of course, you know, do what you can, but good to always break it back down to the simplest form, rebuild again. All right, so simplest form, push the back leg, move forward, arm out, reset. All right, simple, easy. It's a little coordination going in there, hand-eye coordination, coordinating with hand movement, feet movement, all working as one. All right, if you want, of course, you can add a bag in there and try and strike through. All right, take it easy. When you strike, you're still learning, so you're just lining things up. So just be careful. All right, so next here is single step with two punches. All right, a little bit more difficult, but not terribly difficult. All right, so we're sitting, we can start, do our leg check. All right, so we're going to go one, and then the second one comes when we reset. Two. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, turn. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, keep going back and forth. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, so where it's happening, you can start with the backhand. Right, this one is shots already fired. This one, gun or bullet in the chamber. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, so that one step, this is considered one step. All right, so 1, 2. Okay. A little bit more complicated, but still not that difficult. Work through these, keep practicing them. It's just allowing you to feel what it's like to thrust forward while you're striking. The more your body starts to understand these movements, focusing on joints. Again, we are focusing on joints down here. Yes, the muscles are part of the movement. You'll feel it in your quads a lot. You'll be engaging your glutes. Your calf is actually more stretched. And the calf muscle, it's actually supposed to be a long muscle. It's not supposed to be a tight ball muscle. So the muscle would actually run all the way down through here. All right. So by moving through the heel, you're actually stretching this out, which allows you to then get those lower calf muscles firing, which also helps a great deal with jumping. All right. So those muscles really help. And sprinting, those are really important muscles. And yes, I do have skinny legs, and no, I did not miss leg day. All right. So just a quick look at some Wing Chun there. And next video is going to be another Wing Chun. We're going to look at triangle stepping.